Go ahead, Harry.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our our continuing webinar series. My name is Harry Stork. I lead our loss prevention team at Protective Insurance. The webinar that we're going to have today will be a kind of a revisit to the protective marketplace, all of the solutions. We're going to highlight some things that were mentioned at our recent claims and safety event that we learned from the new ATRI study around driver shortage and retention, fuel prices, federal regulations with CSA and ELD scores, and tools, as well as the parking issue. So we had a lot of very, very positive feedback from our recent claims and safety event in October. And we wanted to take the opportunity today for those that weren't able to attend, or maybe those that did attend and wanted a refresher, to continue to learn more about all the solutions available to our clients through the marketplace, a couple of which are free for our policyholders and the others at discounted rates. So with that, I'll turn it over to our partner, Amit Jain from Rhodes, and he will walk us through the protective marketplace today. Thanks.
Thank you, Harry, and good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to join you again. As Harry mentioned, the Claims and Safety Conference was a huge success. Really, really good speakers, and kudos to the Protective team for organizing it so well. Let me just quickly stop share so I can share the entire other documents as well. All right, hopefully you guys can see my presentation. So as you guys all know, a lot of you guys have been dealing with commercial fleets for a long, long time. Things have really evolved in terms of the ecosystem dynamics. There's so many solutions out there today to help fleets manage their operating costs, improve their productivity, improve their safety and compliance. But part of the problem is there are so many solutions out there. It has created a very fragmented ecosystem. We ourselves are tracking close to 50 different categories of solutions that fleets can access today to improve things like safety and compliance. So that creates a quandary for these safety managers, these fleet managers. What is the right solution for their own use case, right? Every fleet is not created the same. There are enterprise fleets, their use and needs are very different than the small fleets, which is very different than owner-operators. There are differences by vertical. The construction fleet's needs are very different than somebody who is telco provider, if you will, right? So that creates a lot of problems for these fleets today in terms of choosing the right solution, and more importantly, making decisions based on the data, which today is siloed in all these different solutions, right? So the GPS tracking solution provides you a certain set of data. The camera solutions provide you another set of data. Your routing solutions, another set of data. So fleets really cannot optimize their decision-making by looking at these information sources in silos. So those are some of the challenges. So we basically did a study about a year ago where we pinged a lot of different fleets in the industry and asked them, what are they looking for in terms of solutions and the ecosystem to help drive better business choices and decisions? So these are the 6 things that came out on top in terms of talking to them: choice, relevance, integrated data, one-stop shop, single pane of glass, and engagement and advice. So let me take them one at a time. Choice. They're like, okay, we would love to understand what are the different, just don't give me one single vendor in certain case, because it may or may not be a solution I like. So give me a choice. Give me a choice of different categories. Give me a choice within each category of a few solutions. Relevance. They said, look, my pain points are very different than somebody in a different vertical or somebody who has a different fleet class of vehicles. So if I have only light trucks, my pain points are different than somebody who has heavy trucks, right? Which in case of Protective all the clients are heavy truck related, but the issue is relevance. I want solutions which are the best fit for my own use case. Integrated data, we mentioned this earlier. Data exists in silos, so I cannot make decisions based on these disparate data sets. What I have to end up doing is pull data from all of them. A lot of times I have teams who are then collating all this data in Excel sheets, and then we are trying to make decisions. Well, it adds to a lot of inefficiency in the process. One-stop shop. I would like, as a fleet, to be able to go. Discoverability is a challenge for me, especially if I am the S part of the SMB fleets, the small fleets, which, by the way, 90% of the fleets in America are 20 trucks or fewer, right? So they have challenges. Even fleets up to 25, 30, 50 trucks, right? They have challenges. So they're like, okay, give me a place where I can go, I can browse curated solutions, I can buy, and then I can access those third-party solutions from this one-stop shop. Single pane of glass. This is about the data integration. Again, give me insights, give me actionable recommendations in one user interface that I can basically take and run with it. I can make business decisions holistically, but provide me all of this insight on a single pane of glass. Last but not least, engagement and advice. They're talking about people come to us at the time of renewals, regardless of the solution provider. There's not an active engagement with them. They come to us at the time of renewals. After that, the people are gone. We don't have any customer success team that works with us. We don't have anybody who is showing us the ROI of the solutions. And all said and done, like everybody else, we maybe use 5 to 7% of the functionality. We would like somebody to engage with us continuously and educate us, give us thought leadership pieces, tell us what functionality we can use to help optimize the use of these solutions. So that's essentially what we covered with these in that survey that we did and collation of all that information. So here comes roads. We try to address that by creating a platform that basically helps. We are the connective tissue, or we're trying to be the connective tissue of the fleet ecosystem. Essentially, we have created a platform where we're connecting the data, we're connecting the commerce, and we're connecting the user experience. So I'll show you that in a demo in a second, but hold that thought. Before we go to the demo, I would like to emphasize, because I know there are some producers on this call, there are some brokers and agents on the call. This is very relevant and important. Protective insurance is a pioneer in the industry. They were one of the first to launch a marketplace with safety and risk management solutions, all in this single pane of glass, a unified experience. So something that sets them apart from the other companies, other commercial auto insurance companies in the industry. There are over 50 safety and risk management solutions on the Protective marketplace. As Harry mentioned, these solutions have been curated and selected for the use case around heavy trucks. And furthermore, there is discounted pricing available through the Protective insurance that is not available generally in the market if you go either directly to them or through some other channel. Other advantages include a unified bill. So regardless of how many solutions are purchased through the Protective insurance marketplace, the customer sees one unified bill, which is a big problem for them. And there's some other features that I will talk about as we get to the demo. So let me switch to the demo. For those of you who have not been to the site, I'll post a link to the marketplace after towards the end of this session, so you guys can go in there. But I'm sure most of you have at this point been to the Protective insurance marketplace. As a fleet comes in to the Protective insurance marketplace, they have 3 different ways to browse for solutions. They can either go to the left pane where there are the solution categories. A couple of solution categories are nested, and I'll take you through some of these in a second. So they can get to a solution by going to these solution categories that they're looking for a compliance solution. They go in here and all the relevant compliance solutions show up. Or they're looking for a camera or an ADAS solution. They can click on that category and they'll go to all those solution cards that will be visible. Other way is they can go to the search function and they can type in telematics, for instance, and they'll see all the relevant solutions pop up and they can go to those solution cards and review those cards as such. The third way, and this is a new feature that was released in the last month or so, is get solution recommendation. So basically, it's a simple wizard, and sometimes fleets come in and they necessarily don't know what the solution is, but they definitely understand what their business need or problem is. So very simple wizard, we ask them how many trucks in their fleet, what kind of trucks are in their fleet, what kind of asset type, and what kind of problem they're trying to solve. Okay, let's say they're trying to solve driver safety problem. There's usually different types of solutions that can attack driver safety. So when we go into that, we say, okay, we are interested in driver training solution. When they click on that, what you will get is typically 3 recommendations of solutions which go to solving the problem that you have identified. Okay, so this is the third way for you to get to a type of a solution that you would want to review. Now let's go back to some of the challenges that Harry mentioned. I'll pick one of them, given in the interest of time, which is driver retention. Most of your fleet customers today are struggling with that, partly because of driver shortage, and then there are other opportunities available to people. So driver retention is a problem. So let's unpeel that for a second. Driver retention can be influenced in many different ways. You can improve driver retention all the way up front by selecting the right profile of employees that join your company. So if the right type of person who has a good cultural fit with your organization is hired, then the likelihood of retention is much higher from the get-go. So there's one set of solutions there. Another set of solutions that improves is maintenance. So one of the challenges with driver discomfort or driver attrition could be linked to if the truck is breaking down frequently, it obviously creates frustration. So there are solutions on the protective marketplace around predictive maintenance that gives you insight into what could potentially break down in a truck. So you are basically preventing the truck from breaking down. Again, that improves the driver confidence and reduces that frustration, which goes to driver retention. I'll take you through some of these solutions. Well, if in case the truck does break down, do you have very quick and effective roadside assistance to help the driver so that frustration level is minimized? Yeah, that also eventually goes towards driver retention. Obviously, there's compensation issues that impact that. And then last but not least is things around problems that are created with driver speeding or things around compliance if they're getting flagged too often, right? You can help address them proactively by monitoring those things and then solving for them. So let's take them very carefully. I want to go through some of these solutions. Let's start with the first one that I mentioned, which is hiring the right kind of driver, right? So if you go to driver behavior, for instance, there's a solution on the protective marketplace called job behaviors. This helps with that predictive hiring. They basically do a short survey with the drivers prior to hiring, and they align the responses to a cultural fit with your company. What that results in is a much better hire based on their analysis. They believe that they're able to improve the longevity of somebody and the retention of the person many fold by going through this process. Once you come over here, as you see, most of the solution cards are built this way, where there's a short description. There is who is it for section. This is what goes towards curation. Not every solution on the protective marketplace solves the need of every fleet class or fleet size or fleet segment, right? So we highlight it up front and center so that nobody's wasting each other's time. The fleets, they see this, and if let's say, in this case, this particular solution provider, they work with owner operators and everybody else and up, right? So in this case, it doesn't matter, but there are solutions that only work with fleets which have 10 trucks or more or 20 trucks or more. So this helps with that curation. Same thing with vehicle classes. Obviously, in case of protective insurance, everybody is heavy duty, so it doesn't matter. But in case you have some other asset type and you don't have heavy duty for some reason, then you can go to another solution. There's more information available on each solution in terms of longer description. There's YouTube video link. There's features and benefits. And last but not least, a fleet can download resources like product spec sheets, comparison sheets, marketing collateral, anything that they can use to better inform themselves of this particular solution before they go to something else. What you see on top is, again, very limited to protective marketplace and frankly, one of the features, which is discounts. You see in this case, job behavior is giving 5% additional discount on the get-go. Obviously, based on volume discounts and such, you will negotiate better pricing with them directly as a fleet. But off the get-go, you are getting one of the most favored nation pricing and an additional 5% discount. And if they're running any promotions, which in this case, job behaviors is running 5 assessments at no cost as a part of consultation, you can take advantage of that. Okay, so that's one solution type. Another thing that helps you improve the driver retention, you want to be able to track their driving behavior. And then if something is going wrong, you want to address it right away. So there are solutions here like MVR monitoring. So if something is happening in terms of them not meeting their medical records or some other licensing type issues, right? If you're tracking their MVR regularly, you can address it. And all this goes towards driver satisfaction in the long run. We talked about maintenance. So there are solutions here like Optimum VRX. Go to that solution, it's a predictive maintenance solution, right? Here you see the discount they're providing is 20%. And again, this is only available to protected customers, not available in the market. So huge benefit of leveraging the protective marketplace to go through this. And Optimum VRX will give you predictive insights that prevent the vehicle from breaking down in the first place. Okay, so another one of the solutions. You also have a high degree of correlation between tire pressure and breakdown of the vehicle. There are some tire pressure monitoring systems which are also available through the protective marketplace. The example I would give you is that of roadside assistance. So, or driver training. Let's go to driver training. Huge impact on driver satisfaction. This is where there are a couple of solutions which are provided complimentary by protective insurance. There's the JJ Keller Video on Demand and the XyWave Content Library. These are complimentary offered by protective insurance to all of their customers. So definitely something worth advocating to your fleet customers that, guys, take advantage of this because it is something that you can leverage to improve driver safety. There's other solutions out there like Driving Dynamics, Comba Safety has their Curated solution on there, and Infinity I solution. Last but not least, I want to talk about some of the ELD and telematics solutions. So we have some of the marquee solutions that are being offered through protective customers. You have OmniTrax, you have Shell Telematics, which basically is the white labeling geotab product, if you will. And then there's GPS Track It, so on and so forth. So the telematics solutions go towards improving driver safety because, as you have heard, a lot of them track different driver metrics such as harsh braking, harsh acceleration, harsh cornering. There is camera inbuilt technologies. There's impact on fuel. Fuel was one of the things that Harry mentioned. So things around idling, things around speeding, things around route optimization. These are the functionality that quote unquote offered by some of these solution providers that help you reduce either mileage, the driven mileage or fuel consumption, consequently your fuel reduction, right? So again, these are things you can advocate to your fleet customers that they can take advantage of to be able to improve safety, compliance, and their operating costs, if you will. So those are the advantages of going through the protective insurance. By the way, just want to show you if they go to, let me use the solution as an example. Once they make a decision to buy a solution, they can either apply for a free trial by clicking on the free trial button. They can outright buy the solution using an e-commerce buy flow. which is represented by the buy button, or they can apply for more information on the solution provider by clicking on request info. All of these are simple pre-screen wizards based on which the vendor or the solution provider gets notified that whoever the fleet customer is, they're interested in their solution. Either they have outright purchased the solution, so they should start the onboarding process, or they want more information, so that triggers the sales process. Again, everything is automated to make it very simple and a seamless process to browse and buy these curated solutions and discounted solutions through the marketplace. Okay. I'm going to stop here to talk about the marketplace and give you a little bit. By the way, you'll also see there time and again their promotions that each of the solution providers run, further improve the discounts and other value that these providers provide through the Protective Marketplace. I just want to give you a quick glimpse of some of the upcoming things. So one of the things that Rhodes is working on is a new UI for protective insurance. And so you will see this UI will make it further easier for people to browse solutions and also get some thought leadership, just giving you a glimpse of what we are developing to make it that much easier to browse and buy solutions, these curated and discounted solutions through the Protective Marketplace. This is something that's coming in the next couple of months. So I just want to give you a glimpse. Last but not least, and this may be the most relevant piece of information, again, this is an upcoming product, so I just want to give you a preview of this. And this is what we call unified dashboard. This goes to the whole idea of integrated data and making business decisions based on holistic data. So what we are developing here, as you can see, this is a safety dashboard. And what we are creating is an inherent safety score, which a company can track. And they can track it by region, nationwide, whatever domain or geography they want to track. And they can put in whatever time frame they want to track. If they want to track month by month, quarter by quarter, year by year. But essentially, it's telling you what is happening with your fleet safety or your branch safety at whatever level, right? So in this example, it's saying that, hey, month to month, your safety has come down 6%. Okay. Well, let's do root cause analysis. These are all the factors that go into fleet safety. So basically, we have all these KPIs, and we see the one or two that jump out, this driver behavior and long drive. So let's click on driver behavior, and we can click on inspect, and gives you, within a few clicks, the answer, the root cause analysis of which of your drivers are the worst offenders in this last month. Guess what? Your safety managers, your fleet managers can then speak to these drivers and give them the right training to then help improve their driver behavior, consequently the driver safety of the entire company or that region or the branch that you're tracking, right? Other thing is actionable recommendations. Open this tab and we are telling you exactly the things that you should take action on. And by the way, we are pulling data from many disparate sources in this. We are collating that data, we're normalizing and contextualizing the data, which is why we are able to give you these actionable recommendations. So in this case, let me just use this example. Matt, medical evaluation certificate is due in less than a week. If they miss the deadline, obviously this can impact the compliance score and things of that nature. So you go in there and you can basically take action directly from here. So essentially what we are making is easier for fleets to manage their business, look at holistically all of that data and make decisions very quickly. Okay, so that's essentially what I wanted to present to you today, which we presented at the safety conference. And people really enjoyed seeing these preview new upcoming things that Protective will be launching soon. But going back to what I was and Harry was saying, this is one of the few companies, Protective Insurance, that's offering this capability to their fleet customers to access these curated and discounted solutions. So I'm going to stop sharing and we can move to Q&A. I think one of the questions is people wanted to see the MBR solution, the Embark safety solution. I can go to the solution card for the Embark safety solution again, so people can see that. I'm sorry, that was under compliance. So this is MVR monitoring. You go in here, again, you see they're giving a 20% discount over their per driver monthly cost. A really great place to come and look. This particular solution only applies to fleets over 50. So that's one of the part of the curation. But you can come in here and look at more information that they provide. And then there's a lot of documents here you can download to get that information. So this is part of, Harry, you want to say something?
Yeah, Ahmed, I just, thanks for showing that. So, one of the big contributing factors to some of the nuclear verdicts that we see involve companies that have drivers that do not have a CDL in good standing. And by law, you must, check your MVRs once a year, but many companies are now looking at this monitoring solution that enables you to see changes in a driver license status more frequently than just a typical once, or maybe some companies do twice a year quarterly. So depending the frequency at which the state shares or updates information, some of these MVR monitoring data feeds could be daily, or none are worse than monthly. So if you're like many fleets that do your MVRs every January 1st after the holidays to make sure you're in compliance with your regulation, we hear that this monitoring ability solves a big issue for driver status changes that you're requiring a self-reporting from the driver, the honor system, if you will. And if the driver doesn't self-report, you may not be aware of any changes until you run the next MVR. So years ago, there were only a few states that were linked in with providers that offer this solution. It's now pretty much all 50 states. So another new technology that's starting to get a lot of adoption now.
Yeah, thank you, Harry. That's very important. And I just want to point out, Embark Safety has two different solutions. In this case, this solution, they offered one driver and up, so owner operators and up. And in the other case, it's 50 units or up, right? So that's the advantage of browsing through these solutions and seeing what is relevant based on your particular use case or issue. And some of the bigger fleets use owner operators as contractors, right? So this is also a good place for them to come in and see which solutions can they promote within their contractor base, if you will. If there's any questions, please put them in the Q&A section. I will also post the URL for this in the chat window. So in case anybody would like to access the solution, they can go to the URL and access the protective marketplace. If there are no questions, then we will call it a day. It was a pleasure to talk to all of you guys. And just so you guys know, there is a resource section in the protective marketplace where the past webinars are also listed. In case you guys want to see a lot of the other webinars, and all of them are on a particular pain point in the industry, encourage you to please go there and look at those webinars as well. Okay. Thank you, folks. Have a great day and see you on the next webinar.